Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me in this video. I'm so looking forward to sharing with you these 5 costly mistakes that you could be making that could be costing you right now. And these are all mistakes that I've been guilty of making. So I know these mistakes intimately, sadly, and I've learned how to overcome them. So I'm going to show you how to fix these things and really just start to explain what they could be costing you if you keep going on these mistakes. I heard some incredible things come out of people's mouths this week that I thought, wow, we really need to do something about this. And the things that some people have been saying to me on coaching calls, it sounded like my own voice a few years ago, where people have been really locked in fear about getting out there and showing their brilliance to the world. And because it's been quite a recurring theme this week in my coaching sessions, I just felt so drawn to talk about it in this live tonight, because they're very common mistakes. They're common mistakes that you could be making right now. You could be making all 5 of them. You could be making one of them. I actually believe that probably most of us are struggling in at least one of these things at the moment, or could be taking it to a bigger level in what we're doing in our business. There's always a next level, right? There's always a way to step up and do things in a bigger, bolder way. The first mistake that I see people making is being timid about what they offer. Being timid about what they offer. And a lot of people say to me, oh, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to come across as, always talking about business on Facebook. And what people fail to realize is that there's a clear difference between sharing what you offer and being bold in it so that people will really like you, trust you, feel a connection with you, and really want to take that next step forward. There's a big mistake with doing that and sharing boldly and bravely and being confident about what you do, and being a pushy, annoying, awkward person. And so many people that I've spoken to this week have been afraid to step up and position themselves as an expert. They're like, but I'm not an expert. I only know this much. And, why couldn't people just Google it? Why would they listen to me? And I know that a lot of you have fear around stepping up, and I totally get it. It's a very real fear. I struggled with it for many years, the whole imposter syndrome. And the thing is, this fear doesn't completely ever go away as long as you are continuing to push your comfort zone, right? Every time we push to that next level of stepping out and doing something new for the first time. I was talking to a lady today, and she was saying, I'm totally fine in my Zoom events, but Facebook Live, no way. And I said, that's because your Zoom events, you've got people in there that know you, right? And people that trust you, people that you've invited in there. It's a safe space. So of course, when you go out into a Facebook Live for the first time, you feel a bit vulnerable and naked, exposed. Of course you're going to feel that. It's totally normal. And I don't feel like enough people talk about the emotional bravery required to actually be visible and be out there. And even to put a website up, it's like artists showing their art for the first time. When I was a drummer in a band, I used to actually write the majority of the songs in the band, and I remember showing up to band practice, and I would write the song and I'd pull out my guitar and I'd sit down and I'd feel really nervous. And these are my friends that I'd been friends with for years, and we'd had band practice twice a week for years, so I knew them very well. They were my party buddies as well, but I'd still feel very nervous showing them a song before it was complete, right? It didn't have the master, it hadn't been mastered. It didn't have studio quality. It hadn't got the harmonies and all the rhythm sorted out yet. It was just like a piece of clay that wasn't fully molded yet. But we've got to be willing to show the world our piece of art before it's perfectly finished. Because in business, we're often having to, show people things and get feedback before something's perfect and polished. And that can be a really hard thing to do. It requires courage. It's like any artist, any creator who's showing their work for the first time before it's fully finished. And our work will never be finished because we're always growing. I've heard stories of artists who people have been hanging up their paintings in a gallery, and they're trailing behind the people hanging them up with a paint set trying to fix up that very last detail. So I know that you care about your craft, you care about your business, because it's a form of your expression to the world. It's a form of creativity. And when I started out in business, my brain was always sending out thoughts like, it's not good enough. Who do I think I am? Why would anyone listen to me? I don't know enough yet. It's not good enough yet. And this constant fear of criticism that comes up in business, it really holds people back. So this mistake that people make is staying really small and not sharing with the world what they do. But I heard a really cool quote today, and you might want to write this one down. You won't be criticized by someone doing more than you. You only get criticized by someone doing less than you. And I found that to be so true in my journey. You know, the people who are really successful, the millionaire mentors that I have, they would never criticize someone that's back here on their journey. You know, it's only people who are looking to the right and left and looking at the competitors in fear and worry with a scarcity mindset that actually criticize. So people who are successful, they get it. High performers, people that are doing cool things in the world, they get it. They're not criticizing. So if you want to have more influence, if you want to inspire more people to take action, you need to be bold and brave with your offer, not hiding away with sharing other people's things, or just writing and not showing up on video, not being willing to show your face and actually talk and have an opinion, have a voice. You know, you're here on the planet to have an opinion, have a voice, make change, you know, maybe be a bit of a rock the boat, rock the status quo, maybe be a bit of a troublemaker about some cause that you deeply believe in, and not just hiding behind motivational quotes. You know, like motivational quotes are cool, but add your own creativity to it, add your own opinion. You know, don't be afraid to disagree with something. You know, you're here on the planet to make a difference, and you can't make a difference if you're not bold. And if you don't talk about what you do, someone else will come along and offer someone a solution to their problem and may not do it as good as you. You know, so if you're not willing to stand up, someone else will. But if you're worried that, oh, if I share that post too many times, people are going to get annoyed at me. Well, the fact is, such a small percent of people are seeing you on social media. If you only share about what you offer every 10 posts, and only, let's say, 5% of people are even seeing it, let alone engaging in it, you know, it's so unlikely that people are going to think you're pushy. You know, people who see you and see something a second time or a third time literally can just do that. That's how quick they can get rid of you. It doesn't have to be that you think, like, people aren't so busy like looking at everything that you're doing. They're only seeing little bits of what you're doing. And remember, when you just start sharing what you do with boldness, don't assume that people know what you do. When you start sharing with boldness and passion, it's really contagious, right? All right, number 2, the second mistake is this: being inconsistent. Being inconsistent. And this is one I've talked about quite a bit because it's so important. A lot of people are very ad hoc with their marketing. They just market when they have something coming up, when they have a launch or an event, or they suddenly will do a whole heap of posts when they get inspired, and then for a few weeks they won't do anything. Remember, marketing is not about you. It's about showing up for your tribe and your community. It's about being there for people. It's about showing value even if that person never buys from you. And when you're consistent, people can rely on you, they can trust you, they can get to know you a bit more. Like the people who come onto my sales conversations, like a discovery session or a strategy session where I make them an offer if they're a right fit. I don't make an offer to everyone, but if it's a right fit, usually those people are ready to take action because they've consumed my content, because I'm so consistent with my content. So they've either got my emails, or they've been in my Facebook group for a while, or they've come to Facebook Lives, maybe they've come to one of my workshops or my webinars. So when you're consistent, like consistently running events, consistently running webinars, consistently showing up on Facebook Live, people get to know you. So often when people show up to strategy sessions, it's like they feel like they already know me, and often I don't know them, but because they've consumed so many of my videos or read my blogs and things like that, they're just ready. They're ready to take action, and I don't need to, try and convince them of anything. They're either a match or they're not. So when you're consistent, you'll really fast track your sales process, which is pretty cool. Okay, number 3, the third mistake I see people make is being passive, not proactive. So a lot of people, they kind of wait for people to come to them. They think, oh, if I put up my website or if I just post pretty posts, that people are going to want to work with me. And it doesn't really work like that. Business is hard work. It takes work to build things of value, to create great work in the world. It takes time. It takes time to craft a post. It's much easier just to blur and just let it all out, but to actually craft the words, to hone it, to master it, to chip away at it, to make it like a piece of art, to a masterpiece. I'm not saying it has to be perfect, but for it to be really valuable, it does take effort. It does take being proactive. It takes reaching out to people, not kind of sitting back and going, where are the clients? Why aren't they coming to me? Why is no one inviting me to be a speaker? And I remember seeing this on display a few years back on International Women's Day, where I was speaking at an event and I had another business ask me to speak at their company. And I couldn't do it because I was already booked. And I put on Facebook, hey, I'm looking for someone who has a great message that would love to share it with this audience. And I got so many people reply and say, yes, I would love to speak. I would love to speak. I've got a great message. I'd love to do this. And it really got me thinking, why aren't these people running their own events? If they have a message, if they've got value to share, why are they just waiting for invitations? Why are they being so passive when they've got something to share? And if you've absorbed a lot from other places, if you've had knowledge from seminars, from courses, like give me a yes in the comments if you feel like you've got some knowledge that can really help people. Just give me a yes right now if you feel like you have got something that could actually help some people. If you've absorbed like a sponge and you need to squeeze the sponge, it's all about contributing. And I want to just drop some tough love here. If you've consumed a lot for yourself, how about creating some value just to give value and not just keeping it to yourself? It's actually quite self-focused when we don't contribute and share our gifts with the world by not just posting social media posts about ourselves, but crafting educational, helpful, valuable content. Yes, we're getting some yeses. Hi, Josh. Hey, Val. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Caroline. So good to see you here live. So, of course, you've got value to share with people, and we need to be proactive. So we need to create more than we consume. If you ask yourself, how much time do you spend creating great marketing content, great landing pages, crafting great emails, crafting great videos? How much time do you spend on that compared to consuming social media, consuming YouTube clips or Netflix? How much time do you spend creating compared to consuming? And maybe you want to look at doing some more really creating good work in the world, valuable work, even if you're giving it away for free. Because if you're giving great value, people are going to want to work with you. Number 4, the fourth mistake people make is selling on social. Social is the place to build relationships. Social is the place to give. It's the place to be social, right? And this is relationship marketing. A lot of people use social to jump into someone else's Facebook group, chuck up a brochure or an event, or put an offer up. I've seen this so much recently where people only jump into a Facebook group on their market day or their sell anything or pitch something day, and they just pop it up and they disappear. They're not really there to be of service. And social is not about selling. Social is about building relationships. Remember that people people following you are people, they're not a number. So focus on building relationships with your followers, not just getting likes, not just counting your likes and your followers on Instagram and Facebook. Don't even look at those metrics unless you're tracking for some reason. But you want to lead with value, lead with generosity, lead with education. So talk to people, not at them, just talking about you. So ask people questions, be genuinely curious, be helpful, comment. I see a lot of people using these scheduling tools to post on social, which is cool. I understand automation, of course, but you also don't want to only be using automation. Make sure once you've posted that you can ask questions, you can be available to comment. It's meant to be social, engaging with people. So if you want to sell, what I recommend is that you do that by getting people off social media and into either a webinar, a workshop, or a one-on-one conversation. And they should all be free. So when people are posting their big offers with prices up on social, I just kind of cringe, because no one is going to go from a cold lead who barely knows you to spending $2,000 with you. It's just, you might get 0.1%. I don't know the stat, don't quote me, but it's very, very tough to get someone who doesn't know you from a Facebook ad into buying your offer. So it's always got to be free before you start making offers, because people need to understand what you offer, the benefits, the reasons why they would buy it. You need to make sure that you're clear on the pain points, the problems that you can help solve. There's so many things that you need to do before someone is willing to part with their money or their time. So social's not the place to be pushy, to be selling. It's really not. It's not designed for selling. It's designed for relationship building. You can take people offline. That's why it's so important that we get people into our landing pages and our social media, our email list, not relying on social. Which brings me to number 5. The 5th mistake people make is thinking that social media alone will get them clients. Social media alone, without having landing pages, events, webinars, getting people onto your email list, actually capturing people's details. I don't know any businesses that are successful that have only used social media. The successful companies, they get people onto their system, onto their real estate. Social media is not our real estate, it's someone else's. Our real estate is our landing pages, our websites, and landing pages convert 4 to 10 times higher than your website. So my website is full of links to landing pages, because landing pages are standalone web pages. People take one action. They take usually an opt-in action where they enter their name and email and they go into your email list. And that is one of the biggest assets that you have as a business owner, is your email list. That's yours. You have access to drop into their inbox, and as long as you're providing value, you can build this asset over time that's very valuable. So you don't want to use just social media alone. Social media is best when it's combined as a strategy with landing pages, with some type of presentation, which I recommend you look at doing a Zoom event or a webinar or even a workshop online, where you are giving all this value and social supports it. Because people need time before they can know you, like you, trust you. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust, or feel like they know, like, and trust them. So it's so important that you don't just expect clients to show up because you posted on social. That's all of my clients that are doing well. It's because they've got funnels in place. They've got landing pages in place. It's not because of social media. So Donna says, what do you use for landing pages? My favorite, and I've looked at lots of different landing page software, my favorite is ClickFunnels. The reason I love ClickFunnels is because it looks super professional. And when I switched, I was using lead pages. I've used MailChimp. I've looked at Thrive, like a whole heap of other ones. ClickFunnels, I love it. I've got 20 funnels. You can get up to 20. I've used all 20, and I use them for webinars. I use them for my online course. So you can put online courses on ClickFunnels. You can host your webinar replays in there. You can like do full-on upsells, downsells, cross-sells. You can take payments, like you can integrate your MailChimp, your Stripe account. It's beautiful, it's seamless, it's completely changed my business. And I've got some templates, so if you do decide that you would like to use ClickFunnels, let me know, because I can give you a link that gives you access to all the templates that I've used, so you don't have to kind of start from scratch. You can use my ones, and they're proven. You know, I've used them for a number of years, and they really work. So I've got 20 different funnels that I use for various things, like downloadables, lead magnets, freebies, events, webinars. Yeah, it's an incredible platform, and you only need one client to cover the cost of it. So it is an expense in your business, but like anything, you need to invest in order to grow your business. So I'm just going to recap the 5 most costly mistakes. Number 1 is being timid about what you offer. We want to be bold in what we offer. Number 2 is being inconsistent, so not showing up consistently and being visible. Number 3 is being passive, not proactive. Number 4 is selling on social. And number 5 is thinking that social media alone will get you clients. We need a combination of social and also webinars, events, landing pages, and funnels. So are you making any of these mistakes? If so, which one are you going to focus on next? Which one are you going to stop doing? And I just want to remind you, I have made all of these mistakes. So you're not alone. It's completely normal. And, you know, it's all about little tweaks and measures in business. So if you would like some help incorporating some of these strategies so that you can start attracting more clients, if you need some help with your funnels, your landing pages, with getting more clients, attracting more clients, engaging your tribe, building your email list, anything that I've talked about or anything related to business, I offer a free one-on-one 45-minute strategy session. So I'll pop the link in the comments, and Lisa says just email you for those documents for funnel and landing page. Actually, I'll pop my link here for ClickFunnels. So it's bit.ly/CatMillarCF. So that is the landing page. Sorry, that's the link for you to jump onto ClickFunnels, and you can do a 14-day free trial, and then I can send you all the templates. So yeah, just email me if you're wanting to get access. I'll just pop my email in here as well. Cool. And if you would like to have one of those strategy sessions, if you haven't had a strategy session with me before, you walk away with a full client attraction roadmap, completely free of charge, no pressure, no obligation or anything like that. I genuinely want to help as many entrepreneurs who are heart-centered and passionate about helping people as possible. So I look forward to hearing from you. If you've got any questions at all, pop them in the comments.